So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from wherever you're watching me, welcome again to this space. We'll be having a conversation, and actually, today I'm so much grateful for you finding time to come to my channel. And if this is your first time that you are getting this channel, please don't forget to subscribe, and also please don't forget to turn that notification bell. And what we say in this space is that we just learn and inspire, and we share experiences to other people so that they can be able to learn from us. And today, being on a Sunday, I'm so much glad that you found time, and wherever you're watching me, I don't know, maybe some people are ahead of time. There are people who've already seen the next day, but here where I am, I'm seated. It's on a Sunday and a beautiful evening here. So today, I've received a couple of questions on my YouTube channel, and from my viewers, really wanting to know some few questions, asking some few questions about the journey of actually coming here in the US. And I decided now, because I cannot be able to reach each one of you and maybe have a scheduled time for every one of you, then I decided just to do like a questions and answer session. It might be very, very short today, but I just want us to have like to answer just a few questions that most of you have asked in a very, very simple way. So I have my questions here, and I'll be going through them, and I hope that you walk with me this session, and I hope maybe you be able to learn one or two things. Yes, so these questions have been asked by my viewers and you guys, and I just noted down a few of them that I feel that I should address in this session. So karibu sana. Again, don't forget to subscribe and also to hit that notification bell. And if you love this video, please share to another person who be maybe in a position to maybe wanting to see or to watch such kind of a thing. So guys, let's go into it. So our first question reads, what was your most challenging part in the whole process? All right. Now, my process here means the process of coming out of Kenya to this place. And as the people say, east or west, home is the best. And that's true, because up to date, I still miss home and I miss my family. But now, one of the most challenging part in the process of me doing the application, if you have watched my previous videos, you've seen me talking about how I managed to come to the US for my master's program, and that's what I'm doing right now. And 1 year is almost done. This month will be one academic year will be done, and I say thank you to the Lord. So most challenging challenging part in the process was actually not getting was actually the visa application. Yeah, getting a visa interview and a visa date, that was the most challenging part for me, because it was not easy. And I remember when we started, when I got all the documents ready, and I was now planning to apply for the visa, because you cannot apply for the visa if you don't have all the documents ready. Now, I got the document very late. I had already gotten the admission as of September. No, it was in July. I think in July. Then I got the admission in July. I got my admission letter in July. So I started looking for a visa date from that day I got the admission and up to September. And I was not that fortunate to get the admission last year. So my actual admission date was supposed to be this year, June 23. Yeah, June 23rd. Yeah, that was supposed to be my actual visa date. It was very hectic because you had to keep on that to make sure that you wake up very early, sleep very late, keep on refreshing the website, that is the embassy, the website that you check for the dates. They are not there because a lot of people were applying for that, and the only available date was June 23rd this year, 2024. wait, 2023, yes. That was crazy because I had everything, but now I couldn't come without the visa. So that was the most challenging part, and I can say it is just by the grace of God that I was able to get an early date. So this what happened. So when I got the date, I booked the interview for this year, June 23rd. But now there's a process that you can, there's a process called, um, or you can expedite your visa date. That means that you can write to the embassy and tell them like you have already gotten your admission, and like you're requesting them if they can adjust your date to a favorable date that will favor you. That does not mean that you have passed the interview. No, that is just a request, and it's not a guarantee that they will approve you. So we did that with a couple of friends that I was with in my group, and we were able to get a visa date of 1st August. So that was a very big relief for me because I was able now to think well, maybe in a position to see now my dream to the US is coming to be. So that was the most challenging part, I can say. Although the road is not that easy, but that was the most challenging part. So I think that is nice. So when you got the visa dated first, then we went for the visa interview, but again we were not interviewed that day because the dates that we had given was not the correct date that was reflecting on my I-20, and that was another challenge. So the visa interviewer that we met, the consular, decided to give us another date, and that's why we were not interviewed on 1st of August. So we got a date a day after the election in last year August. That was on 10th of August. We had the general election on 9th of August, if I can remember very well. And then on 10th of August, that was my interview date. So, and that is another thing that I would share with you, how actually the process of the visa interview is in a different session. So that's question number one. All right. Now, question number two is asking about, let's see, says, how much did it cost you up to relocation? All right. So, I was in a program that I have talked about in my previous video called the Kenya Airlift program, and for you to join this program you have to, by then you were supposed to at least raise $1,000. That by then was translating to around 120,000 Kenyan shilling. So that's the amount I paid first, and then to the program, and that was catering for so for my expenses by then, like maybe the visa application, the GMAT exam that I did first and failed. By the way, I did GMAT and failed. So if you're one of them who is in the visa is in the program, because the program is still running and a lot of people are going through the program, I did my GMAT and failed, and that is another story that we share in a different session. So, but I had to raise $1,000. $1,000 was catering for such kind of expenses, consultation fee as well, and also the service fee, all those expenses. But now when I failed the GMAT, the table turned, and I had now to join the parallel option, which was a bit costly for me, because in parallel option you had to cater for all your expenses, regardless of your financial stamina, and it's something that was not prepared for at the moment and the time that I had to my actual plan for coming to the US. So by then I was working and I was saving some money, and also got some friends who helped me along, my family members as well. And to be precise, is like by the time I was relocating here, I spent almost close to $6,000 $1,000. Yeah, and that is close to, let's say, like around to 600 to 700 Kenyan shilling. Yeah, that's the amount of money that I spent for my relocation. And yeah, I think that's the amount I spent. Yeah, because for after I joined the parallel option, I had to pay another like 450,000 Kenya shilling. That was catering for my flight charges and some consultation fee. But that was a very expensive process for me. But if you're still in the program and you're in the parallel option, it depends with the now, maybe the rates at the moment, but that's what I paid. So at most, the amount the amount that I used for my relocation up to the US was close to 600 to 700,000 Kenyan shilling. Yes, I hope you're still with me. Wow, and I got some Kenyan coffee, by the way. A friend of mine sent me coffee that is Ketepa. Ketepa, yeah, Ketepa is a Kenyan brand, and that's what I'm taking for the evening. I love coffee. I love coffee. I love tea. So today I'm taking tea. My next question is, let me read this one. I heard it's expensive to study in the US. Did you get a scholarship or who funds your studies? Wow, this is a very good question. And first, I did not get a scholarship and I'm still looking for a scholarship. And it is true that studying here in the US is very expensive because, like, for example, for a semester, like for this one that is almost ending this month, I'm doing like 11 credits and I had to pay close to 8,000 US dollars. That translates to almost 900,000 Kenyan shilling, almost close to $1 million. That's a lot of money. So funding is very important. If you get a scholarship, well and good, and I pray that if you're in the process and you are looking for these scholarships, please, if you find an extra one, also remember me. I'm still looking for one. And so I did not get a scholarship, and I do not come from a family that was able to raise that huge amount of money for me to come and study here. So I decided to take a risk, and a risk that I think is worth it. And so I came here via student loan. There, I know it's not the best thing to do, but if you're so determined to come and study in the US, then it's a worthy risk taking. So I came here through a student loan, and there are so many organizations here in the world, and especially in the US, that usually offer student loans. Though their interests are very much high as compared to other kinds of loans. But if you're really determined to come here and study, then I don't think that this is something that you will live forever. These are the skills that you live forever, and it's a worthy investment regardless of it being a student loan. So I applied for a student loan through one of the lenders here in the US called Empower Financing, and you can just go to their website and check. It's called Empower Financing, and all you need to do is to have the correct details, documents, like for example your admission letter, your I-20, your proof of that you have been admitted to any university here, and also prove to them that you have a very good credit score for them to give you almost close to five, is it 527 50,000 US dollars. That is close to 5 million. Am I right? Yeah, I think it's close to 5+ million Kenyan shilling to come and study. You have to prove to them that you have a very good credit score. But now, as I've said, there are so many ways to maneuver this. If you get a scholarship, well and good. If you get a sponsorship, for example, people get scholarships, people get graduate assistantships here in the US. And these are things that you can apply online. You can keep on looking because they're very limited. And if they're there, maybe you need to do a very thorough application, of which I'm still looking for one. I have a couple of friends here we came with, they have already gotten their GAs. And if you have watched my previous video, there's one of my friend called Michelle that I interviewed in my video, and she really shared about how she got her GA and how it is taking her along. So it's a very good experience. You can find you can get these things. So, but it's not easy. So I came here through a student loan. So this is an exception of the money that I used for my relocation. Yes, for the student loan caters for your education here and as well for your living expenses. Yeah, such kind of things. But times you have it's very involving because you have to keep on paying the interest on monthly basis. So if you don't know how to if you have to know how to go about it, because you need to know to get all this information about the lender and also how you're going to finance your loan later. So that's how I got it. So question number what number 4. I hope you're still with me and just trying to answer these questions that you guys asked. Then number 4 is I feel like quitting. Did you experience this, and how did you overcome it? Yeah, I think, yeah, how did you overcome it? So yes, a feeling of quitting is very often, and so that's something that was really disturbing me. But I remember by the time I was studying for my GMAT, and GMAT is, for those who don't know what GMAT is, it actually stands for GMAT. Is it graduate? Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the meaning. This, I think, is graduate something admission tests. Okay, you can just check. I can't remember what exactly it means. It's a kind of an exam that you have to pass, just to, or maybe that you have to take, like, just for some universities will request for that GMAT to see whether you fit in their universities and you fit in their maybe their curriculum levels. And it's not a must you pass this exam, because I've said I've failed the exam and I managed to come here. There are universities that will waiver that, and there are universities that will not give a waiver on that GMAT. It's just like people do like the English test and all those kind of other tests. So it's just like a normal exam. But now the problem with me was I had to study for that exam for like 2 months, and by then I was working in a call center, and it was very hard for me to find time to study for it. And yeah, it was not easy, and it reached a point whereby I really felt to quit. And even after I failed the exam, having gone all the way from Eldoret to Nairobi for a couple of times, and then failing the exam, and it's normal. Failing, it's normal, and it doesn't mean that it's the end of anything. And actually, GMAT is not like an exam to determine how smart you are or how qualified you are. No, because it's an adaptive test, so it's not like a standardized test. So yeah, so that was a moment I felt like quitting, and everything changed. I stayed like almost for a month, and then I met a friend who was already in the process of relocating in the same program, and she really raised my spirit again. And now she's in the University of Alabama. I think she's almost completing her studies. So that's when she told me about the parallel option. I never knew about it, yet I was in the program. So that was the moment I felt like quitting, and I stayed all the way, and I had given up about even the remaining money that I had paid to the program. So it was hard, but I really managed to come back, picked my broken pieces, and then God fixed them, and I was able to complete the process within less than 4 months. So that was amazing. That was amazing. And sometimes you meet people who really holds your pieces that have been broken, and they try to make you fix them. So I think she really did a lot to me. So that was very hard. It was very difficult for me because even my colleagues were like, what do you keep on studying? People going for lunch breaks, you don't go for lunch breaks. At night I sleep very late, but still, with all that struggle, and I failed the exam. So that was heartbreaking, and I missed the pass mark with only 10 points. So it was crazy for me. I felt like quitting. I know so many of you have done the GMAT exam, others have given up. No, it's not the end of the road. Yes, so sometimes failures are made, comes in our lives to be able to help us to open our eyes and see the other open doors, because sometimes we might only concentrate on the closed door. Wow. Question number 5. Oh, I think we are very close to the end of the questions. Oh, question says, how was your GMAT studies and what was your score? GMAT studies was not a walk in the park. No, it was not easy because I was working in a call center, and by then we had so many KPIs that we were supposed to meet. I was a team champion, so I was really trying to get time, sacrificing my lunch breaks to go and to go and study, because when you get back home you cannot study because you've been working for 8 hours, sometimes more than 8 hours, and it was not easy. But I tried. Within 2 months, I was able to hit 480, 490. Well, that was my score for the GMAT. I missed with only 10 points, and it was not easy. So my GMAT studies was like, I used various resources online. There are various guides that you can get, like the GMAT guide is available. There's so many tutorials. There's so many resources on YouTube. There are people who are actually training people on how to answer these questions. And then in GMAT, there's a quantitative part. If you're not good in maths, you can focus on that. And then there's a qualitative part where it's talk about English and how you construct sentences and how you answer such kind of questions. So there are people who just study the exam for only 2 weeks and they pass. There are people who will stay in the program for 6 months and they still fail. So it depends with how you understand and how quick you understand you get the formula of how answering the questions. So my experience studying for the GMAT was very hard for me because I didn't have enough time, and I was at that time. I remember that's when my dad was very sick, so I couldn't concentrate very well. But yes, happened what happened. Yeah, so I would encourage everyone who is in this stage of studying for the GMAT to really concentrate and give it all the best that he or she or you can, because it might save you somewhere. But it's not a guarantee that it's not like it's something really need to come, unless maybe the university that gave you the admission really want that GMAT score. All right, now question number next. It reads, I hope you're still with me, you're getting along with me. How long did it take you to relocate to the US? All right, so I started my application. So I joined the program in 2021 April. 2021 April. That's when I joined the program. So, but I was not very active. So my plan was to relocate in January of 2022. So I did all those things. Actually, I did my GMAT exam in September of 2020. Is it September? If I'm not wrong. Should be, I think, July. Yeah, because after I failed the exam, that's when I started now applying for my visa. I started applying for my visa after now knowing that there's an option for the parallel option. That was in July, yeah. It was in July. So I joined in 2021 April, and then and I relocated in August of 2022. So that means that's close to 1 year and 4 months. April, May, June, July, August. Like 1 year and 5 months. So that is close to 17 months, if I'm not wrong. Yes. So that's how long it took me. So if you're in the process, you joined the other day. So just know that there is a lot to learn. There's a lot that you need to know. The preparation is, you need to take that preparation very seriously. And it doesn't mean that because I took 17 months that you have to take 17 months. No, you can take as even as 6 months. 6 months is the bare minimum that you can if you have all the documents ready and you're fortunate enough to get a visa date early enough. So yes. Ooh. Question, I think we have like 2 or 3 questions remaining and then we'll be done. Next question. How oh, okay. How was the school selection and how would you advise someone in this stage? All right. Now, I didn't know so much about the US, about the application, the school selection. No, so yeah, I did not know all about this. And through the program, the KAP, I was able to be guided and to learn about the universities that were offering the program that I was willing to come and do. So I was given like a list of the universities and the programs, and I was able to choose from them. Then after getting for example, the university, I could go and do my own research and be able to see what some of the maybe admission rates, what are some of the what is the percentage of the graduation rate, what is like the approval rates for and the kind of programs, and how is the university ranked in terms of performance in the US, all those kind of stuff. What is the fees, the tuition fee, and the living expenses, the location of the place, all those things. So I didn't know about that, and I was guided in the KAP, and these are the things that you should be able to do from your end. Just go to website to your browser and maybe select maybe a certain state that you want to come to, for example Michigan, or maybe for example Texas, or maybe for example Florida, and you can check the universities, for example in Michigan or in Florida, and then try to look for all those parameters I've mentioned. And if you're fortunate enough, you can also join the program as well and learn more from more experienced people than myself. So, but still, it's something that you can do on your own. It's pretty easy because you just need to know the name of the school, go to the website, see all those things, see the tuition fee, see whether they have the program that you want to come to do, and also see how if the admission rate is quite good, and also see the location of the places. It is very good to know the location. You've heard lately how winter distracted or maybe affected California and some other states, and you wouldn't want to go to maybe to areas that are very have such kind of disastrous conditions. And yesterday, some states in the southwest, they were experiencing tornadoes, and there was a lot of destructions, some people died. So it's very good to check about the location of the state. It's very important for you to know where that state is and how life is for international students and all those kind of stuff. So yeah, so I was guided for school application through the program, and yeah, it's something that you can do on your own if you want to. If you're not able to join the program, yes, you can do it on your own. It's pretty easy. Question second last. Tell us about your application and how long did it take? I think this one I've already mentioned how long it take for me to relocate. But about my application, I had applied for a couple of universities, especially I applied for the University of Alabama, and then I got admitted because I wanted to go and do cybersecurity in the University of Alabama. Then I was accepted, but now by then I could not get the funding because the lending organization were not able to offer me a funding letter for that. So I had to shift to another state. That's why I came to Michigan. Yeah, so you can apply for as many universities as you can, and based on the ones that will give you the admission letter, and based on the criteria that you will have to filter and see which one actually serves you best. So yeah, it did not take me long because it was like the span of like 2 to 3 weeks. I had gotten my admission letter and my I-20 from the university, and that was a very quick, yeah, because a lot of people get stuck when it comes to I-20. The university might have a lot of students. Remember, you're not the only one who is coming to that university as an international student, so they have to screen other applicants from other countries, and there are some other countries that are given priority than Kenyan students. So, and there are some other countries who bring a lot of students than us. So yeah, so that was very quick, and then I had to keep on calling the admission office almost like twice a week, because then it was very expensive by then calling here. But yeah, I made it, and you can make it too. So my last question is let me see, what do you miss so much in Kenya? I miss a lot of things. Yeah, I miss a lot of things, but most important thing that I miss is my family. Yeah, I miss my family, and I miss yeah, I think family is the most important thing that I miss. Yeah, here you're very far, much miles and miles away from your family. You don't know what is happening to them. They don't know how your life is here. It's only via call, maybe you can talk, and that sometimes is not enough. So I miss my family, I miss my friends. Yeah, I miss the Kenyan vibe sometimes. Just sisi wa Kenya tumezoea ile story. We go maybe for a party, you have your friends, you have your vibe. Doesn't even have to be a party, but if you're in a community that maybe you share the same common origin, and you share the same common maybe cultural stuff, it becomes very interesting. I miss Kenyan food. Yeah, I miss mutura. Okay, I know most of you don't know what mutura is, maybe for those who are not from Kenya, but I miss, yeah, so funny things. Yeah, I miss so many. I mean, my colleagues that we used to work with, the beautiful people that I left in Kenya. Yes, I miss so many things. Yeah. Wow, I hope that you've learned one or two things, and for those people who ask about these questions, I hope now you have a very good understanding of it, and I believe that you'll be able to follow, or maybe to take one or two nuggets of what I've said and be able to use it for your benefit, and also to help other people maybe who might be in need of it. And still, please, if you have any other question, please don't forget to ask. You can leave a comment, and also I will also leave my email address and in the description box, so that maybe if you want to reach out to me directly, maybe for any guidance or maybe for any question that you might be having, you can as well ask me. You can also follow me on social media, on Instagram,